Hi. So we will do a quick review on the HK4. This was H&K's first handgun. It was designed in the 60s and brought to the market in the mid-1960s. It's named HK4 because it's designed to fire up to 4 different calibers out of the same platform. Calibers being 380, 32 and 25 ACP plus 22 long rifle. The lines are very sleek, and you see that other than the safety switch and the magazine release here, there are no other external controls to the gun, and I'll explain the reason for that in a little while. This is a very simple, very small double action, single action pocket pistol. It was designed for self-defense. It has an external hammer here, fixed sights, and the safety doesn't block the sear or anything. It just pivots the firing pin out of the path of the hammer. So even with the safety on, if you pull the trigger, it will drop the hammer, either from double action or single action. The hammer will drop, but the gun just won't fire. Frames made out of aluminum, hard anodized black, and the slides made out of steel. Fixed sights, typical of this kind of gun. Rear sight is drift adjustable to compensate for windage. Magazine capacity in 380 is 7 rounds, 8 rounds for all the other calibers. And this gun has a few, let's call them particular methods of operation. As mentioned before, you'll notice that there are no external controls. So when you fire the gun dry, after the last round, slide will lock back like this. And to get it to go back into battery, the traditional resource of pulling back on the slide doesn't work. In this gun, you can do one of two things: pull the trigger, okay, or insert a magazine. Either an empty magazine or a full magazine will work. But remember, if you do this with a full magazine, the slide will snap forward and chamber around. So this is something to bear in mind at all times. You may have noticed that even with no magazine, pulling back on the slide locks it in the rearward position. So you pull the trigger to get the slide to go back forward, but if you try to pull the trigger, the sear is blocked, so it has a magazine disconnect safety. Okay. Many people seem to think that this gun and the Mauser HSC are the same gun, sold under different brand names, but that is incorrect. They do look very similar because they were designed by the same person, but that's as far as similarities go. They are two different guns, the parts don't interchange, magazines don't interchange, They just do look very similar, that's all. Okay, double action pull on this pistol is quite heavy because it has a very stout mainspring over here beneath the grip. Single action is so-so, not too heavy but not the lightest you've ever seen. So there you go. Accuracy is about par for guns of this category. It's regulated for point of aim, point of impact at 25 meters. So you probably noticed that it hits pretty high at shorter distances. And it's just a nifty, very well made little gun. It does have its quirks, as you've seen a while ago, but there will be a few more which we'll address later. Okay, so field stripping. Remove the magazine, check, make sure the chamber is empty, pull the trigger and close the slide. Okay. Field stripping has two basic requirements. Hammer has to be cocked and safety has to be on. After that, there's this button in here which you rotate towards the front of the gun, and you hold it there and just push the slide forward a little bit and lift it off the frame. And there you go. Here's the frame. Here's the slide and barrel. Removing the barrel is easy. You just pull it forward and down. And there it goes. Rifling, as you may notice, is conventional, not the usual nowadays polygonal for Heckler & Co. But accuracy is about par, so it doesn't hurt. Recoil spring is captive to the barrel. It's held here by this dimple. This is to avoid having the user confuse one spring for another and installing a barrel with the wrong spring in it. So every barrel comes with its own spring, and there it is. One thing you will notice here is that there is a shock buffer right here. This was originally designed to be like this, even though this shock buffer right here is not factory made. This was carved by myself, all out of hard rubber, but it's working well so far, and it has actually outlasted the replacement buffers currently sold by Gun Parts Corp. But either way, it's unadvisable to shoot the gun without these in place. They will get chewed up and shot to pieces, but it protects the frame from impact from the slide. So if at all possible, don't fire your HK4 without this buffer. Okay? Right, so for conversion from center fire to rim fire, you have to perform a few operations, as opposed to conversion from one center fire caliber to another, in which you just exchange the barrel and spring assembly and the magazine. Magazines, by the way, 25 ACP has its own magazine. You'll see this one's marked 9 quarts or 9K, which is 9 short, which is how the Germans know the 380 ACP caliber. This magazine will fit both 380 and 32 ACP interchangeably, no matter what it says here. 32 caliber magazines are marked 765 millimeters, and they will take 380 ACPs as well, so don't worry about that. To change from center fire calibers to rim fire, you will notice that you have the bridge block here and that there's a separate part at the very top here. This is the bridge face, and this is involved in changing from center fire to rim fire. Okay? This little screwdriver, by the way, comes with the 22 caliber conversion kit. It's got a hollow handle, and in this handle comes the cleaning chain for you to pull the patch through the barrel, and this little pin right here. This is used in the disassembly of the breech face, and it's done in this manner. You'll notice that the extractor here can be pulled out quite a ways, and that there's a hole in here. Okay? So what you do is you pull the extractor out until the hole is exposed, and then you insert the pin into the hole so that the extractor is held outwards like this. Okay? In being like this, it is now clear from the breech face okay, extractor is out here, and you'll see that there's a screw right here. Okay, this screw has to be undone and the breech face has to be removed, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so here we go. You undo the screw. Well, before you actually remove the screw, you'll notice that in this position for center fire rounds, the screw sits about flush with the breech face. Bear that in mind, because as you reassemble it for rimfire cartridges, the situation will be a little bit different. But that's okay, because that is how it's supposed to be. Okay? It's a quite long screw, very fine threaded. So after the screw's undone, you just pull it out like this, and then you just extract the breech face by pulling on it. See? Okay. When the breech face is out, don't tilt the slide forwards like this, because the firing pin is here and you don't want it to fall out. Okay. You will notice this is the center fire position of the breech face. It has a Z here, which is for center fire in German, and it has the hole for the screw head here. For rimfire, we just turn it around and it says R here for rimfire, and you'll notice that the hole for the screw here is not recessed as it is on the other side. Okay. Other than that, you'll notice that it has the screw hole, the center fire pinhole, and the rimfire pinhole. Okay. So to assemble this as a rimfire, you have to take the slide and push the firing pin towards the ceiling of the slide so that it will protrude from the upper hole here on the breech face. Okay? So with the pin correctly positioned, you just reinsert the breech plate . Okay. Then you reposition the screw. There we go. and then we just retighten the screw. Make sure to peek into the bridge face to make sure that the firing pin can be seen sticking out of the, or at least aligned with, the correct hole on the bridge plate. Okay. So, after the screw is tightened all the way down, you just tug on the extractor and remove the retaining pin. And that's it. Just install your 22 barrel and you're ready to roll. Okay, reassembly is in reverse order. Just put your barrel in there, push it forward and in. There you go. Just align these cutouts, or this forward cutout, with the corresponding slot in on the frame. Push down and back a little bit, and there it is. So this is it. It's the HK4. Two notes, personal notes, are trigger, as you can see, is very curved, and in my case the forward edge of the trigger digs a little into the tip of the finger when you fire it for a long string, so it gets a little painful after a while. Second thing is that, just like the Walther PPK and other smaller guns, the hammer bites into the web of the hand, in my case. So, just two observations so that you don't find it strange if it happens to you. Okay? So there you go. HK4. Hope this review was interesting and useful, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.